Hi guys, this is Carrie with CraftyCarrie.com, and I'm here today to show you an extra special project featuring some retiring items out of the Spring Occasions catalog. Now, these are available only on a supplies last basis, so if you like what you see today, you should probably put in an order sooner rather than later. But let me show you what we're using. We're going to feature this Sew in Love bundle, and this is on page 52 of the catalog, and this is really great because it's actually on sale right now. So if you like the project and you want to order these things, you can take a note that, let me zoom in a little bit here, that the stamp set is 25% off, and it's available either in wood mount or clear mount. The Thinlit set that we're using is 30% off, and that will be available only while supplies last. So if you love this, you may want to think about ordering it sooner rather than later. And then the last product that we're featuring from the catalog is that Very Vanilla 1/4 inch satin ribbon, and that's 40% off. So you can get a lot of the supplies that we're using in this project for a fraction of the cost. So it's really awesome. So I'm going to zoom in here a little bit, and I'm going to show you, this is my inspiration piece. And I thought that was just so beautiful, and I had the perfect idea for it back in January when I got engaged. So let me show you what I'm making. It's my wedding invitations, and I went with that inspiration piece and I changed the colors up a little bit to go with what my colors are for my wedding, of course. And I loved this Very Vanilla stitched ribbon. And I've got a little bit of, so it's Night of Navy and Pink Pirouette and Very Vanilla. And then of course I've got the matching Very Vanilla envelope. The first thing I want to show you is, this is not our actual information, and it's not nearly as pretty as the actual insert that my fiance put together using Adobe's Creative Cloud. I just put this together super quick on Pages. It's a program that comes on your Macintosh computer, but you could also use Microsoft Word or something like that. So I was going to show you that you can really easily make an insert for your wedding invitations, and I just printed this on my laser printer. So we just need to get that insert down to size. And for me, it's 3 1/4 by 5 inches. So I designed this so I've got 1/2 inch of extra margin on each side. So using my Stampin' trimmer here, I'm just gonna cut this down to 3 1/4, and then again, I'm gonna cut off my 1/2 inch margin that's at the top, and then cut this down to 5. And then that's my little insert. So that's one layer. So we've got that done. And then my other layers are, I've got a layer here of Pink Pirouette and then Night of Navy. And I'm not gonna glue these together just yet. And I'll show you why. Here are the framelits that we're using, these so detailed framelits, and they are really very cool. But this is the piece that we're using today to cut out that really intricate floral lace detail. All right, I'm back. I've got my Big Shot here, and I'm just gonna switch out one of my cutting plates for the precision base plate. And you're definitely gonna want this for this very intricate die. It helps so much. If you don't have it yet, trust me, you want it. So I'm gonna just line up my piece here, stick the other cutting plate on top, and then I'm gonna roll it through twice because I really wanna make sure that I'm getting into all of those crevices. And don't worry, sometimes your Big Shot makes noise, but it's okay. So the other thing that's really helpful is if you get this brush and sponge set that you can use this to get out almost all of those little pieces. I found it still took a little bit more coaxing with this die. And here's a tip. Every Big Shot is gonna be different. So your Big Shot might have a little bit more pressure than mine does, and these might just easily fall out. Yours might have less, and you're gonna have to go back and forth a few more times. So you'll have to play with it a little bit. But through the magic of television, I can pull in one that's already done. Okay, I'm back, and look at these two pieces. They're so perfect. It just took a little bit of time and a little bit of coaxing to get out all of those tiny little pieces. So now I'm gonna carefully fold on these lines. That's where you're gonna place your adhesive. I'm just gonna gently fold that down. You have two options when you're assembling these. You can either put the seam on the back of your card, or what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna hide it on the front because I'm gonna put more layers on. So to adhere this, I would recommend something really sticky, like our tear tape. Tear tape is perfect. So I'm gonna just tear off a little bit and work with a little bit at a time. I find that to be a little bit easier, but it's definitely up to you. And you can see this is just exactly the width of our tear tape. So it's almost like they designed it to work with this. So I'm just gonna peel off this tear tape. Sorry, it's a little bit fiddly. And now I'm gonna line this up. Let me zoom in a little bit for you here. I know with the dark colors, it's not the easiest thing to see. Oh, here's probably the most important tip of making your own invitations. They don't have to be perfect. You want them to look nice. That seems like a reasonable want and expectation, but really, these are super important to you. To everybody else, they're probably not that important. And so it's okay if they're not exactly perfect. And they are handcrafted, and that's part of the beauty of handcrafting. Another tip when you're doing a lot of something, mass producing, is to definitely do it assembly line style. So you want to punch out do all of one step at once. So the other day I had a friend over and she just spent about 2 hours just running these through the Big Shot. Well, I worked on other pieces, punching out the little intricate pieces, working on the wording for my insert, etc. So now let's put this together. So that wasn't that bad. Times 40, times 100, sure, it's gonna take you some time. All right, so now I'm using my snail. I'm just gonna put a little bit on there and line this up. So again, my sizes, my base was, the Night of Navy was 4 1/4 by 5 1/2, so that's just 1/4 of a sheet. My pirouette, pink pirouette, was 1/4 inch smaller, so it was 4 inches by 5 1/4. And then finally, this insert was 3 3/4 by 5. And you probably don't want to be too stingy with the amount of adhesive that you use on this because you don't want it to fall apart. So then this is going to hide, I don't know if you can see those seam lines, this is going to hide that pretty well. So I'm going to put that in. Boom. And then I thought that this didn't quite look as finished as I wanted it to. I felt like it was kind of busy having all this lace and then having all the text behind it. So I grabbed a piece of our vellum cardstock and I decided to just slip that in, and I really think that does make it look more polished. This piece will just come out when they open up their invitation, but that's fine. So yeah, you've got your pieces here, and then the final touch, obviously, you need a little bit of ribbon because I love ribbon. So you might not need it, but I definitely would. And I'm gonna wrap it around twice because I tried it just once and that didn't seem thick enough, and this is just very pretty, so. And then now I have to tie a bow on camera. Can I do it? Probably. That's one of the services that I offer at my local classes, is that I will tie your bows for you. And after tying hundreds and hundreds of bows, it's really not so bad. When you're learning though, it can be a little bit aggravating. That's not too bad. So there's my little invitation. And then of course we're gonna make a little response card and a little details card that will go in the envelope as well. And let me show you, I've got a sneak peek of something I am super excited about that came out just in time. And this is very vanilla note cards with envelopes. And these will be available to purchase on June 1st when the new catalog goes live. They are also available as a gift with purchase with the bundle that will be going on sale on May 1st as part of the Eastern Palace Suite. So keep an eye out for that. So my plan is this will be the response envelope where somebody RSVPs, and I'll use just half of a note card for that, and we'll print those. And then I'm gonna include a little piece about that same size on the pink pirouette that has just the details about our wedding website and where they can go to find more information. If you want to take things one step further and decorate your envelope, you definitely can do that. So let me show you an example of what that might look like. And here I'm going to use the Coordinating So in Love stamp set, and I'm going to use this image here of that flower. And I'm pulling in the Night of Navy ink that coordinates. And I'm just gonna create a kind of loose pattern here of just slightly overlapping these flowers. It's just a little extra something. And this one maybe is slightly better than I did earlier. About the same. So those are my tips and tricks for using the So in Love detailed Thinlits to make your own wedding invitations. If you have questions, please let me know. I'm happy to help, and I would love to have you as my customer if you would like to purchase any of these amazing products to DIY something fun of your own. Thanks for watching.